I was thinking with Vici they might go for something like a Pangolier, but they were just waiting on picking it up because they wanted to see what RNG were
10
going
seconds
and
remaining.
if the disarm is going to be extra impactful. Storm Spirit, sure, he
5
relies
seconds
on right click
remaining.
just like any core does, but it's not his entire kit like a lot of other people. So I don't know if that'll be enticing them to try and pick up the Pango for themselves.
Well, Vici Gaming. Let's see what they do want to go for. It is still available if they wanted to take that Pangolier, but we'll see. They'll think about it a bit further. Mind you, this is an early Storm pick to make, so you can try to work towards those counters for the Storm, and it can be a little bit difficult though when you've got that support Abaddon who's going to be able to purge it off regardless of what you throw at him.
Hmm.
Assuming the Abaddon's around him, of course, at the time.
Yeah. I mean, PL's not terrible, but you've already got a Monkey King. I don't know. I'm liking the start of RNG's draft now with this Storm Spirit pick. It feels like they've confused Vici somewhat because I just think, what are the heroes that potentially they want to come out next? You don't want to reveal your mid laner just yet, or at least you want to keep it ambiguous with this Monkey King as a possibility. So I think it has to be the off laner. But what really is going to get the initial initiation onto the Storm? Bat Rider, maybe? I mean, it's a good setup for Mirana Arrow, but
There
you've
is
got
the...
an Abaddon.
Yeah,
So
that's the problem. I mean, you wouldn't mind just seeing them go back into the Centaur here. Like, it's not necessarily the catch you're looking for the Storm,
yeah.
but then again, what is? That's the
They
problem.
don't have a frontliner. That's my issue, and that's why I'm thinking, even despite the fact that it's a storm, it
RNG
should be Pango.
turn pick
Oh,
Night
Night
Stalker.
Stalker.
Okay,
okay.
yeah. I was thinking like, are they going to do something like a Ricky here? But then I was like, nah, it's not great against the Mars. And then the Abaddon, of course, can just, he's eventually going to just have borrowed time, so he's going to live through a lot of the burst that Ricky wants to do. But if you're able to play a bit independent on this Night Stalker, you can get a lot done against this
10
Storm Spirit,
seconds
especially.
remaining. Turn to battle.
Ursa will come out now for RNG. So you see that Night Stalker, but you think to yourself, as an Ursa, you're not going to really have too many issues up against that Night Stalker.
Mm.
Uh, Pretty nice pick if you ask me for RNG. I like the way their draft's going, where Vici Gaming does seem a bit more experimental, with that Night Stalker at least. I'm not sure how to feel about that offlane pick for Vici
10
quite yet.
seconds remaining.
Um,
Mm.
I mean, obviously it's the counter towards the
5
Storm, we know
seconds
that.
remaining.
But it's whether it works
Yeah,
out.
I just want to see how the laning stage goes as well, right?
RNG's turn to
We saw
battle.
what happened at the start of last game, right? They just stayed in the jungle for the very start, and Night Stalker's not great at that. It's not like you have a Centaur that can just use the retaliate, and then you have a Luna that can just sit back and use a right click damage.
Yeah.
Night Stalker is just going to be food to a lot of these early jungle camps. So but you don't want it to lane into the Ursa either. So I think they need to swap
10
the lanes
seconds.
around a little bit because you're always going to have a not so great first 5 minutes of the game as Night Stalker, but you can't be put in the bin at the very start either.
Sure. RNG, final ban out now for them. It's either a mid lane or a safe lane for Vici Gaming that they're looking to get rid of.
They got rid of a Shaker on Vici's side as their last ban.
Well, they are still
Yeah.
missing a position 4, right? On RNG's
Uh,
side of things.
I suppose so, and I suppose these cores as well are ones that do need to get in super deep to get a lot of stuff done. So, provided you've got that crippling fear usage out of the way,
RNG's
there is the
turn to
potential for
pick.
the Blink Echo.
Yeah. TA, again, going to be banned out here. RNG, just get rid of it. And just one more pickup. They're looking for that pos 4.
Hmm. This leads me to think that they might want to go with something
Vici
a little bit more
Gaming's
passive
turn
as the
for the
four. Oh,
picks.
well, it's kind of passive, but kind of active as well, right?
Yeah.
Like it's this weird duality of you essentially sit back and farm, but then you get a lot of stuff done as soon as you hit that iron timing. It's like next 5 minutes, I am not farming. I'm just go go go.
Yeah.
And we've seen, like you said before, September. It's a staple. It's a comfort hero for him.
He's dangerous on this hero, that's for sure.
10
That It makes
seconds
me feel
remaining.
very confident now in what RNG is running with this draft.
Mm.
Seeing
5
that finish
seconds
off with the
remaining.
Clinks. And Vici Gaming, they don't have much time to think about this final pick, but they are going to go into the
Do not
Morphling
select
now.
your heroes.
Alright. It's going to be an interesting game here for Eurus.
Hmm. I don't know how I feel about this one.
Hmm.
There's little. Like the Abaddon pick is throwing me off a little bit, and then of course you've got the unknown of the Night Stalker, and it's like, well, how good is it really? I mean, it's great against the Clinks, provided that he's able to get in position. So I think Vision is going to be extra important from DY, but he's one of the best warders in the game. So we'll see if he's on point with getting those sentries down and being able to find the Clinks before he finds you.
Yeah. Should be a fun one. Of course, I ask you the hard question again, sir. Your pick, better draft?
Uh,
10 seconds remaining.
hmm.
It's a hard one.
It is a hard one. I just don't know how I feel about this 5 Abaddon. That's the only thing throwing me off from RNG. Otherwise, I would probably go for them.
I'm
Um,
kind of stuck with RNG now with that Klink's last pick.
mm, no, I'm going Vici.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, Vici Gaming do want to win this this second game to try and finish this off 2-0. Of course, RNG want to try and force this to a game number 3 if they can, and the winner is going directly through to the grand finals. A lot of the line here, of course, it's not the be-all, end-all. If you do lose this best of 3, you are going to have a secondary chance, but you're going to have to verse a team like LGD or Sparking Arrow tomorrow, depending on which one of those guys wins the lower bracket round 1.
Didn't we just watch
me.
that?
No, we did. Yes, of course we did. Yeah, I meant Sparking Arrow. Thank you for that, Danog.
No worries. Anytime.
Oh, it's been too many days. Too
It
many
has.
days.
It's been a lot of Dota, which is good. Like I'm loving seeing all this Dota as well as the Chinese and Southeast Asian regions getting a bit of love too.
Yeah, it's been great. That's for sure. I gotta say, you really don't want to be versing Sparking Arrow Gaming either. If you do go down, like those guys look so dangerous.
hmm They've got the God King on their side. That's why.
Quite literally, it's very intimidating. Still, game number 2 has begun now. And, well, we had those lane swaps last time. I doubt we'll have so much of that early jungling that we saw in this game, but you never really know. Vici Gaming goes with the same opening. They'll smoke up as 5. They'll run towards that top rune spot and see if they can get anything done here.
Oh, here we go. There. Ooh, breaks the smoke. PYW, he's continuing to go forward. That's a pretty ballsy play, but eventually ends up backing off.
RNG now, maybe loop around, but no, they'll just play it safe. You know, I said we might not see jungling, but we actually may. Like, just judging by the way they're posturing themselves right now. Yeah,
30 seconds.
the Monkey King is already down in the safe lane, so perhaps not. It's like Eurus probably won't want to move from here.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting that, like, they were in the smoke when they placed down these observer wards, but the ones in the mid lane are literally right next to each other. It's like Romeo and Juliet, star-crossed lovers.
Yeah. Vici, they should be fine to get these top bounties. It doesn't seem like Monet will be too interested in contesting on that Ursa, and he won't. Bot lane, however, or he does try and contest, but he will not be able to get it. Flying One does just knock him back and take it for himself. And so Ori in the safe lane, Monkey King, and Eurus is actually going to be mid on the Morphling. They do switch out the lanes a little bit, but just prioritizing Eurus's lane here on that Morph, wanting to give him that great start. They'll throw him mid.
Okay. Yeah, I don't mind it. Against the Storm Spirit, Morphling's fine. You want to get him those early levels, get that level 3, make him a lot less gankable.
It's gonna be very hard to kill this Morph up, even with that Storm. Like, he's probably just gonna be fine. Of course, top lane, we'll see Monet and Super. They're gonna be there up against PYW and Yang. It's going to be a very important laning stage for Yang, that's for sure. You kind of mentioned it. You can't quite get dumpstered in the lane as a Night Stalker and expect to come back. It can be pretty rough trying to come back on a hero like this, so very important for him to get this game off right.
He is not having a great time either. You've already got this lane kind of pushing in extra hard because of the fact that the Mirana used her arrow onto the range creep, which is important, right? You want to be able to secure it and at least get the experience from that, but it just means that where can Yang safely farm right now?
The answer is nowhere. He's going to try and apply some pressure onto Monet. But like you said, Manet's just going to keep bullying him out, and he'll go pull the wave away towards his range creep, and it should eventually come back his way. PYW, though, is being contested as well by Super. He can't just enjoy himself and clear out that creep wave by himself. In fact,
Yang's in a little trouble, yeah.
Manet has Earthshock in a second. He might die for this, and he will, and he does get it. Great play out from Manet. Now Arrow coming up from PYW trying to punish him, but Manet looks to be just fine.
Yeah. As soon as he hits up onto that level 2, he just flipped forward, made it happen. Started styling on him. And that's the thing that you really don't want as this Night Stalker. You can't let an Ursa have a more advantageous game, or it's always going to happen, but you can't let him just body you. And,
The one lane we haven't talked about yet, Ori and DY, going to be there up against September and Flywin. And so far it's been a decent lane for Ori in terms of his CS. As the Mars, you shouldn't be able to really shut down the Monkey King too much. He should be just fine to keep securing farm and applying pressure to you instead.
I suppose, like, you've got a little bit of extra attack range on the Mars, similar to the Monkey King, but he's far and away the most. I suppose you can get an okay amount of stuff done as well with the Death Pact. So obviously the minus armor is always going to be really effective for any sorts of trades, and that's why Ori's built into this ring of protection to start off, to make sure he wasn't sitting down at 0. Yang's in trouble again.
That he will be. Yang does go down. Manet picks up a secondary kill, and now PYW trying to fight back, but he can't. He'll have to leap away. Manet still making a run. He'll be alright. PYW had no way of securing the kill there, but in all fairness, the Ursa has no regen left. So Manet is kind of stuck here on pretty low HP.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, this Night Stalker's got nothing.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
Yang's still just trying to hit that level 3 mark. We'll have that now.
Yeah. I mean, he's feeling okay now that he's got this big creep wave left for himself to farm. He's going to be able to deny up a range creep, which is going to be really effective. And yeah, I think PYW just needs to get out of dodge right now. He is not useful standing here. Everything needs to be fed into Yang to make sure he can make some sort of comeback.
He's leaving now. He'll go towards that mid lane. I mean, Eurus has been on low HP for quite a while now himself, but that's to be expected as Setsu is continuing to apply a lot of aggression onto this Morphling. I mean, you could hope for a nice arrow here from PYW. Setsu really would have no way out. But he will just use it to secure some neutral camps.
Yeah. I think Eurus was in the range for that as well, so that's a nice little bonus for him, being able to split the XP.
That is true.
Not something you see all the time as well, with this Morphling going for a bottle to start off, just realizing, well, I'm just taking way too much harass out from Setsu, and well, you've got the 5-minute bounty runes about to spawn. Let's see if they makes any sort of aggressive plays happen on RNG's side. Doesn't look like it.
No, they're just staying to their lanes right now. Eurus, he'll just wait for that bottle to come out. He'll have a bounty rune to go back to. Assuming, of course, nobody else takes it, but PYW will be there to protect it. Setsu's still having a free game, though, on this Storm, you've got to admit. Like, this may be a bit of a concern here for Vici Gaming, seeing how much Setsu's getting out of this mid lane.
So PYW just took the bounty rune.
Okay.
I don't know if that was intended. Maybe he just realizes he needs to spend all this time in lane. He hasn't put any points into the waveform, so he's not going to be able to clear it out really fast compared to the Storm Spirit. So you're always going to be getting the worst part of those trades.
That's fair. September even going to join the mid lane now. It looks like Setsu's more than happy to just jungle up instead of taking that lane position. And he's level 6 anyway. Pretty low on mana. He'll just do that for himself. There's no real harm in giving September some XP and farm on the Clinks, as we've seen many times what he can do on this hero. They do try and fight over those top power runes, but Eurus and September are going to run back down bot for the DD. However, down at bot lane, Flywin is getting very low on that Mars. But he'll be alright, he'll get out of there.
I wonder if we're going to see Setsu. I mean, it's really early and he doesn't have too many items, but we could see a TP come in and use that fountain regen, yeah, to try and make a play on this top side.
He is, Setsu. No zip yet. He'll wait it out. Yang's had already a pretty tough game, but it's going to get even tougher now. Zip in. PYW, nothing he can do to help. He tries to arrow, but it won't connect. And DY, he did TP in on the Shadow Demon, but it was just a bit too late. That'll be Yang's third death of the game.
Yeah. The Yang gang going down, and meanwhile, September, he's happy to play this passively. You know, you've got a Storm Spirit that can play a bit more active on the map, and to take away some of Night Stalker's nighttime as well is going to be really impactful. Oh, he's gone into a Necrobook too. PYW's in trouble.
Yeah, he is. He's been vortexed up. He has leap charges, but it may not be enough, especially with that Curse of Avernus. Oh, he gets a courier from Super, but it will cost him his life, and Sensu will take another kill on the Storm. He's just more than happy to keep farming the jungle. So this is, again, a bit of a concern, I believe, for Vici Gaming. You could make the argument that Eurus and Ori are still farming decently on that Monkey King and Morphling. But this is a Storm we're talking about during the mid-game with crazy amounts of farm.
Yeah, it's looking rough, and we've got a TP up here from the Mirana. They're going to scout it out, though.
But there is going to be disruption into the arrow, and it's the easiest setup of his life. Super will die on the Abaddon now.
Yeah, real important kill for Yang. I think getting him his Necrobook as well as level 7, or at least maxing out both Hunter in the Night and the Void, is going to be really important, because you want to be able to try and get some solo kills in onto this Storm Spirit before he's able to pick up that BKB. And with the Necrobook units and the Crippling Fear, I think you're going to have enough.
Eurus in trouble mid. Sensu will show himself, but he'll be alright. He'll just walk out of there. Manane also just farming Ancients right now. Maybe just trying to get those neutral items up quick. He's not really interested in remaining up at that top lane any longer. I guess it is still nighttime for Yang, so he's got a little bit of an advantage here on that Night Stalker.
Yeah, needing to play somewhat defensively. You can see both observer wards right now on the Dire are placed inside, next to their mid tower, so being able to catch any sort of rotations through either side of the river.
They are drawing a line to go through that side of the river, but they don't have a smoke or anything like that on Vici Gaming to commit here up at that top lane, so maybe just go back after Super on the Abaddon. There's that Necrobook you talked about. Meanwhile, bot lane, September, closing in on that tier 1 tower, looking at Ori on the Monkey King.
Okay. So Yang, he continued to skill up his Void. Doesn't have anything in the Crippling Fear. I thought he might try and go for one kill, just with the remaining parts of nighttime, but happy to just push this lane out, create some space up on this side, and they're going to find out Super.
Yeah, they should be able to get this this TP cancellation, and yeah, they do. Super, he just shield himself, but he is going to die. Nice easy kill there for the Yang. PYW takes it. But bot lane, they are pushing very, very quickly right now on RNG. Look to try and take this. Arena being dropped. Now the Spear as well from Flywind onto PYW. He's trying to leap himself out. No, there'll be a disruption there. Now the Boundless Strike back onto Flywind with the Starfall. Eurus joins in as well. Flywind's going to fall quite low and should die here. And they do also successfully defend that tier 1 bot tower.
Nicely done. Not able to burst him down. He survived a long time and then even was able to just walk in range of the disruption from DY. So a little bit of lack of damage, it has to be said, on RNG's side for now. And obviously Night Stalker didn't want to borrow that fight. Just stayed up on the top side, continued to farm up the lane. And it's going to be another 80 seconds until he can use the Dark Ascension next.
Yeah. Yang will enjoy this time though. He's had such a rough laning stage that he really does need it.
I think he's fine with just going back into this jungle. You know, this is exactly what he should be doing. His team has no neutral items at the 11-minute mark, which I think is quite important because you're going to be at a bit of a power disadvantage.
True.
Oh, man, look at these stacks.
My goodness. All going to Yang. PYW will come in for a bit, but Yang is going to get all the gold here, unless PYW help him out a little bit. There's those neutral items you talked about as well. Dropping down here, and disruption down at bot lane. Who have they caught out there? It's going to be September, but he'll run out of range of that sentry ward. DY doesn't have the dust up, so couldn't quite get him, and they'll just back off.
I wonder who those wards, those stacks were necessarily for, right? Because they don't have any hero that can take them amazingly. The Mirana, sure, with the Starfall. Was it the position 5 Shadow Demon that was trying to do it? He's maxed it out.
Dire's top tower
You wouldn't
is
mind
under
seeing
attack.
it, like, get a quick Aether Lens up. You know, just be really annoying as that Shadow Demon. The Eurus, top lane, gonna get Vortexed up, but he has the Strength Morph going.
No detection either.
He'll be fine. They're even thinking about turning around here onto Setsu.
Yeah, you've got Dark Ascension, you've got Necrobook in 5. That's exactly what they want to do.
They get in range though. Setsu not going to ball line it yet. Now does, just all the way. Instead, they'll have to go after Super. He does put the Aphotic Shield up and does have the borrowed time. And they're actually not going to bother chasing him down. RNG was there as a team anyway, so it would have been a bit of a dangerous chase to make. Instead,
They found
Dust,
September.
great PYW Dust. September getting caught out. Arrow, however, will not connect, and Yang can't quite close the gap.
Waste his time 2020 is what RNG are playing for right now, and they're doing a pretty decent job at it.
Ori,
So,
bot lane, Arena of Blood is going to be there. He'll pop the Wukong's command and try and fight back, but Monet is here on that Ursa. Ori is falling very, very low. He'll turn around now, just trying to juke them out a little bit, but he can't tree dance in time. Monet will take the kill with the Earth Shock. The RNG are still in control of this game.
yeah, it's even-ish, right? Like, it's literally bouncing back and forth in terms of the net worth. Win probability also sitting right on the 50% mark. So I think it could go either way. It's really just dependent on, for example, if Yang's able to actually get a kill, even if it's on a support out of that second use of the Dark Ascension. It's just not happening quite yet.
I guess the brighter side is Eurus is really having a good old time, and he almost has the shotgun up. Just needs that Eagle Song now on that Morphling.
Radiant's bottom tower.
He's just quietly farming away, inconspicuous, like, no, don't pay attention to me, guys. Nothing's happening here.
Just keep it up. Monet, he's going to go straight for a BKB, it looks like, after perhaps a Yasha, which is interesting, but it will pan out quite nicely for Monet, considering that shotgun build is coming. Can't quite blame him for that.
And I feel like this time around, Flywind's going to have much more of an impact. You know, he's getting a relatively early Blink Dagger, only about 100 gold away now at the 14-minute mark. So he's going to be really happy and play a much more of that playmaking style. Although they've got decent escape for it, I suppose.
But they do. Still. Both teams going to stay away from each other for now. Just keep farming up. There's that blink you talked about, now up. So you might want to get a nice blink reveal coming out here with RNG very soon. They do buy a smoke on Vici's side, not quite on RNG's yet.
The question is on who? Who are you going to go for? You would have to say it's Ori, right? That's the most vulnerable to any sort of blink, arena, stun combination that's going to be coming off. But wisely enough, he's farming in probably the safest place that Vici have on the map right now.
They do scan out RNG, making a rotation down bot, so Moonlight Shadow will be popped. They're going to fight over these bounty runes. Monet, arrow flying in. Can he avoid it? No, he does get stunned up, and now Eurus jumps in. Although Spear, Flywind, he doesn't connect, but he does save his teammate, or maybe not. Monet, he will still die, and now Super will fall low, but borrowed time will save. DY trying to get himself out of there. Meanwhile, on the right, Super is falling low, does die as well. Flywind still trying to survive here on the Mars, but Eurus is on his back, and here comes Ori as well. Threatening the Wukong's command, but not quite throwing it out, and Eurus gets a triple kill on the Morphling. And that's going to make that Eagle Song a lot faster of a pickup here for this Morph.
Yeah, you just said it. That was without the E-Blade, so a lot of damage coming out that's, you know, very item independent. And, you know, Vici, they made a good play to go at that time. They know they're going to be committing onto the bounty runes on that side of the map, considering the vision that they had towards the top side. And now, well, it's a much more scary proposition for them. Flywind just missing again with that spear means that you don't get the early trades, the Ursa goes down. I think he might have popped the Enrage from the initial burst that was put onto him around the bounty rune, but still, you just want to be able to rotate back and make that secondary initiation.
That you do. I can't remember even seeing an Enrage that time around. There's so much things happening in the middle of that team fight. I'm not 100% sure if it even came out. Still, RNG may want to try and just repeat that and maybe make it work their way this time.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at this, like, you see the support rotation of Super in September coming through. Are you really ever worried that these two are going to be able to kill you on their own? Sure, with Flywin you probably can, but it just feels like you're leaving your cores so vulnerable for something that's going to take a long time to execute.
No, I agree with you on that. It is definitely pretty much impossible if the Mars is not around. Smoke up now. Vici Gaming going to make their way to Flywin, and Flywin, well, he did get spotted out for a second there.
Yeah, they saw the spear.
And with that, Ori, Boundless Strike, Yule's up with the arrow from PYW, and that means Flywin is going to go down on the Mars. And, well, that's another 30 seconds where you won't really be able to commit that Blink Arena.
Radiant's middle tower is
This
under
is a very different RNG than we've seen over previous days. Oh, that's just on a camp. Setsu here, but they've spotted him out with that Observer Ward, so they might be looking to go on to him now that it's nighttime. They've got the smoke coming up.
He seems to know he'll zip TP. Be
Yeah,
fine.
Nicely done. So Yang, he's opting to go for the Ag Scepter, so just wants to be able to disrupt, you know, in team fights a fair amount, do a lot more burst damage in that way. I was thinking he might have opted for the Blink Dagger just so he can get on top of that Storm Spirit and hinder him from whatever he's trying to do.
Monet. Oh, he's been used up. Arrow is not there yet. PYW does get it out now with the Crippling Spear as well. Monet had the Enrage off, but now the Shotgun Eurus does burst him down. Super's in trouble as well. He's going to die. Now the Boundless even getting Setsu, but they don't have the Silence left. Still, Vici feeling confident, want to keep moving forward. PYW baiting Setsu in a little bit. Arrow, or rather Yule's going to be there, but the arrow will be blocked by the creeps. And now Arena going to be there with the spear onto Eurus. He does strength morph up. He's going to be okay. Yang may not be, but no. The Wukong's command now from Ori. Now the control as well. Setsu will die. They found another. It's going to be September on the Clinks. He tries to run, but he's not going to be able to run fast enough. Super back in here. Flywin trying to fight there with Monet. They all come back in. They really want to punish the side of Vici Gaming for this. But can they? Ori's still on the run. With those phase boots, he should be able to tree dance. No, the miscoil. Won't let him get in his tree, but even with that kill on the monkey, still a great fight for Vici Gaming.
top tower is
Yeah,
under
overstaying their welcome a little bit. Might run the risk of losing this Roshan, though. No Monkey King available for 30 seconds. You always never want to give up a core kill against an Ursa, because this is exactly what can happen.
He's going to try and make it quick. Flywin going to attack the Roshan hits, and you're going
I
to
think
have
it's fine.
PYW. Arrow.
Yeah. Storm's coming in.
That he is. They're
Longs
still
in,
going
maybe.
for a shotgun. Flywin, he just disappears, and now the Yule's up from PYW. DY going to be around. They're still going after the Roshan. They're not giving this up. Monet, Crippling Fear comes in. Yang's on top. He can't get the Enrage
no.
off. He will die. Now Setsu trying to zip in. He will kill off DY, but he is getting lower and lower on mana. Super needs to turn around on that Abaddon. And he'll make a run for it, but they are on the chase, and Moonlight Shadow is out. Super is definitely dead.
Even being able to grab the bounty runes. Are they going to continue going here?
Why not?
Well, they found
PYW
him.
just looking for the Yules, although Setsu trying to turn around onto that Mirana. Still Yules up. Will be able to protect him. September may be able to burst him down. Oh no, he's leaping away, but they do get the kill. And now Setsu, Boundless Strike, not going to connect there from Ori. They will continue the chase though. He is so low on mana, and with Yang right behind him, he'll use his last burst of mana to go right, but it won't matter. The shotgun's going to be there with the Primal Spring, and they do secure the Storm kill as well.
Yeah. They can very safely go and take Roche now. Ursa, he's fine with fighting into it, but you need the Storm Spirit secondary Initiate coming through, and with that double damage as well, Eurus, he'll pick that up. Man, this is looking bad for RNG right now.
Oh, it's really, really bad. I mean,
Even just small things, right?
yeah,
Sorry,
I mean,
go ahead.
No, I was going to say the net worth lead isn't too bad or anything, but just you lose the first Aegis as the Ursa, never going to feel good, and it's just, yeah. I mean, Eurus is so far ahead as well now in the Morphling.
Like, remember in the Dire jungle when Morphling had that 3-man smoke come into him, and then they used the Yule's arrow combination?
Yeah.
Super was standing right there. There was nothing stopping him from just running in the way of that arrow and tanking it up so that, you know, sure, you might get low, but you've still got the borrowed time, and then you can use the aphotic shield to create more time and space for the rest of your team to join in. I guess it was nighttime, so maybe they didn't want to take a fight, but it's still just little plays like that that can make a huge difference in the large scheme of things.
It's fair enough. We'll see if they can fix it over the rest of this game number 2. Ags is now up though on the Night Stalker, so Yang gonna be a lot scarier now. And Ori gonna scout out the side of RNG. Setsu will zip away before the Boundless came in. Arrow won't land either.
You're gonna have to use the Bloodstone in the fight just before the the Roshan one. So it's not great to be able to have something so long on cooldown, but it's gonna be back up in 30 seconds. I think Setsu, his main goal right now is, where's my damage? Because right now he's not really doing all that much.
He's trying to get that that BKB up on Monet. Just feels like he's not able to do anything, which is clearly the case as well. Like, as soon as that silence comes in, Monet just rushes to try and get out of range and pop that enrage, but just needs that added level of security.
The thing is, though, it's not like this is a Battle Fury Ursa, you know, where you've got that sense of inevitability of, right, he's going to be able to do a ton of damage in teamfights if we clump up, or Setsu.
Could be in trouble, zips away. Boundless is there, though, from Ori, just on point. And now the Crippling Fear again. Oh, Vici Gaming, they are just doing a great job in this series.
Yeah. I mean, what's a Battle Fury going to do? You know, it might get you a couple of extra hits off, but again, you can just kite out Battle Furies. You've got a Shadow Demon, you've got Tree Dance, you've got
Yang.
unobstructed pathing like Yang's doing right now.
That he is. Monet knows he's in trouble. There comes the help. Wukong's,
Oh,
no, it's going to be cancelled off. They break the tree down. He could be in a bit of an issue here, Ori. No, he'll get the Wukong's off. Monet now enrage and just run away. September will go after DY. Ori, Boundless Strike is going to be there on the Ursa. Eurus, shotgun, not going to be enough. He keeps going, however, does get the adaptive strike off. Eurus on his 9th kill now with 0 deaths. Make it 10. He has not died once, this man. He didn't die once last game either, Danog. I believe he went 9-0 on that Luna.
He did, and I think PYW as well was something like 8-1-13 or something ridiculous like that. So obviously not having quite the same level of flawlessness as last game, but still just making so much happen with this combination. They found him. I say that, but look at this.
Oh, PYW. He's just on point with this Mirana. That's the 11th kill now for this Morphling. Whew. I mean, the net worth lead is still not that large. Like, we're still just sitting at 3k the way of Vici Gaming, but that's just besides the point. All their net worth is currently on the Storm Spirit, and Setsu, he's just not having the impact he'd like to. In fact, Yule's going to be there on Flywind. They do jump in. Spear, not going to latch onto the tree. Shotgun is there, however. They blow him up again. He just can't survive it, but Setsu will jump in. Trying to go after DY. Can't get that one either. Now the Abaddon Super going to be in trouble. He'll get speared up. Borrowed time will be there, but PYW, you know he's looking for an arrow attempt, and he is going to land it.
I was thinking, is this another one where it's a little bit too heavy of a commitment? But at the end of the day, it's just Nabat. And now you've also opened up these tier 2 towers, top and mid, both pushing in at the exact same time. So maybe just trying to not have them both pushed in at the exact same moment so that they don't get the max value out of the glyph, causing RNG to make, once again, another difficult decision.
With that, Vici Gaming, they get the tier 2 top tower. Their net worth lead extends to 7k now, which is a much more valuable kind of lead. RNG still looking for a way back into this game. Still trying to buy Monet time. However, I look away from September for a second. He gets blown up there from Eurus. Off the setup with the Boundless Strike from Ori.
And with that fortification, you do have the Aegis being reclaimed now from Eurus, so he's not going to be able to play with Reckless Abandon, but if in the next 5 minutes or so, and hey, last time I checked, it's nighttime for the next 4, if you lose a team fight, that high ground is not safe at all.
No. No, it is not.
Well, unless they take the tier 1 tower, then it resets, but you know, it should be fine. And I mean, the big difference, sure, the net worth, at least before, was not looking too far different. It's the experience that's the real difference here. Like, a full 3 levels ahead on most lanes is huge at this point. It's the difference between all.
Setsu,
Oh
he's been
no.
Yuled up. PYW with the arrow again. Oh no.
Yeah.
He's just doing what he needs to do for the team, but Vici Gaming just capitalizes on it every single time.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
And now Monet, he's just getting run at by this Night Stalker, and there's not too much he can do about it. You don't want to fight into a Night Stalker at this stage, at nighttime.
Arrow, September, gonna juke that out. He'll try and set up to do something with this tier 2 tower.
Under attack.
The rest of his team right behind him, but there's just no way you fight this. Dust is there from PYW just randomly to see if he can find September. He won't, but they get the tier 2. And now all outer towers are gone.
Yeah, and they use the glyph for it too, so it's the exact same situation as before. No glyph if Vici decide to try and push the high ground. Maybe what they're looking for is the fact that, okay, it's 27 minutes. We can grab a couple of neutral items. Maybe that's the thing that we need to turn these team fights in our favor. Because Clinks, he's still holding onto a poor man's shield. Ursa, he's got some... Implaw's not bad, but they could definitely use a little bit of a boost on RNG.
He'll break the smoke straight away here from RNG. They weren't ready for it. Setsu is going to go on to DY, but the Moonlight Shadow will protect. Yang just free pathing his way out of there.
Oh, they can just run.
Flywind is going to drop the arena, but it's only caught one, and the spear throws him out of there. No, it was the disruption saving him, and now the Wukong's command comes out. Benay's falling low again. Super with the borrowed time, trying to survive, but they just keep going forward. Vici Gaming don't care. Monet and Setsu are dead, and there goes Super,
Yeah.
and they call
GG.
it.
There's nothing you can do at that point. I mean, the fact that Yang was able to get out of that laning stage despite dying a couple of times with a respectable net worth, and he just made so much happen, constantly roaming around the map with this combination with the Mirana, allowed Shadow Demon to play a bit more defensively, saved the Monkey King a couple of times. It was just great play all around from Vici, and worthy winners.
I agree. Danog, that is it for us tonight. Congratulations to Vici Gaming. They are going through the upper bracket final. Eurus literally not dying once in the whole series, ending with, if we total up both games, 23 kills, 0 deaths. Just this game alone, 14 kills on the Morphling. All props to the side of Vici Gaming, though. It wasn't just Eurus, of course. They were really setting up for him, buying him that space and allowing this to happen. And RNG as well, they're not going anywhere. They're just going down to the lower bracket finals. Of course, we already know Sparking Arrow Gaming is going to be up against them tomorrow. But that's it for tonight, Danog. And as usual, it's been an absolute pleasure casting with you, sir. I believe you're not coming back tomorrow. I believe it's basket.
I believe so. I'm here if needed. Actually, no, I might not be. I'm actually playing board games. But anyway, it should be a fun one, and I'll make sure we've got it up on the monitor so that we can be tuning in and watching, because it's at a decent time for Australians, which is always a nice change.
For once, yeah.
Yeah.
We finally got something to watch. Still, if you enjoyed Danog, consider following him on Twitter at Danog. I'm at MLP Danog, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in.